Good morning. I hope all is well. I hope you all had a great weekend. Today, our affirmation will be don't fear your transition, embrace it. I'm pretty sure you all can see that I am not how I was last video. Um, and that's just because I felt like it. I felt like it. I I realized very suddenly, but not really. It was a move. It was a move. I started realizing that I was growing my hair out for a while, and I'm just not that person. A lot of people will tell me, "Oh, you look better with longer hair," or "You look better," whatever way. And so I like to challenge that. I like to see how I feel about certain things. So I'll take it into consideration, evaluate how I feel about something, and then say, you know what, why not? So I was growing my hair out, and it was getting on my nerves. And so I decided, you know what, if I'm going to keep my hair, the only way I can keep it is if I lock it, because if it's out, I'm going to be bothered and I'm going to end up cutting it off. So in March, once the quarantine started, I was like, you know what, I'm going to lock my hair, because if I don't lock it, I'm going to cut it off. And the whole point of this is for me to grow it out to see how far I can get. And I got pretty far. My hair got to right here. And that's the longest it's been in, I don't even know how many years. Maybe about 5 or 6 years. Once it gets to here, usually I chop it. I used to be young, and when I was young, you know, I used to be afraid of not having long hair because that was deemed as attractive. And when I got older, the first time I had to do a chop because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do with my hair, it was freeing. At first, I was devastated because I was like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm not going to be as attractive or whatever the case is. But after a few chops, when I did my complete big chop where I had pretty much no hair, after that, after living through that, I was like, you know what, I'm good. But I decided to try it anyway because I was like, you know what, maybe Siobhan, you're being dramatic. Maybe it's not that bad, but it's just not for me. I am a very free spirited, do whatever I want whenever I feel like it type of person. Um, I am an extreme, I guess, because I literally will go from black hair to green hair to purple hair to whatever hair I feel like it. And I feel like, when you work in certain environments, you feel you can't be yourself anymore because it's not deemed appropriate. So that held me back for a long time. And it's just like, you know what, at this point, I don't care. Um, it is what it's going to be. And honestly, when we try to withhold ourselves from our transitioning, it's going to nudge you, it's going to bother you, it's going to annoy you, it's going to keep bothering you until you give into it. And I don't feel like, and I understand that transitioning can be very difficult, very scary, because you don't know how others are going to react to you, how you'll place in the world after that. But it's just like at the same time, those people who are trying to guilt you out of being who you are genuinely within yourselves are not genuine with themselves. And a lot of times, the people who are the most judgmental are the ones who judge themselves or don't. And I feel like that holds other people from, like myself, from being ourselves, because it's like I don't want to be the oddball. I want to be deemed normal, whatever that means societally. And it's really not a societal thing. It's really an environmental thing. Like, I'm always the one that stands out within my crowd, whether it's my family, my friends, whatever. I'm always the me. of the group. I literally, really, really do whatever I want. I change my style whenever I want. I change my hair whenever I want. I change it to whatever I want, and I have no problems with it. I'll have long hair one day and come back and have no hair, or I'll have shorter hair, or um, I'll go from wearing solid colors to wearing patterns. Like, I'm really just fluid in myself because I do what I want to do. If this is how I am, this is what I'm going to do. And I feel like that I know that there are a lot of people who are not able to do that. Free yourself, because to be honest with you, whether you go with the norm or not, there is someone who's judging you anyway. You being normal can be judgmental to somebody, be a judgment from somebody. You being someone, if you're going to be judged, is my point, you might as well be yourself. Because either way, you're going to get judged anyway. So you might as well at least have the freedom within yourself to be okay with who you are. Because at the end of the day, you may think of it as a big deal, and people don't even realize you changed anything. People don't even realize you're different. You know you're different, but they may not even care. Like, oh, like there's been normal times where I'll be like, oh, I'm not gonna dye my hair that color, or I'm not gonna wear that shirt, or I'm not gonna wear that dress, and I wear it, and it's like nobody even notices. We give people too much power over us, and it's understandable because a lot of us are taught that the popular idea is the good idea. It's not true. I have dye all on my fingers now. It's okay. Um, it's not true. The popular idea is not the best idea. And to be honest, there's a lot of styles and fashion right now that's like, you really think that's cute? And they be the ones getting everything, looking crazy. So you might as well look your level of crazy as long as you're comfortable and you're not like neglectful of yourself. Why be who you're not? So if you feel a transition coming but you're afraid of it, embrace it. Embrace it slowly. Don't do the extreme. Really sit in yourself and really see, like, is this what I really want to do? See how you're going to feel about it afterwards. See, transition into it. Don't just jump in because that might be a mistake. Maybe that's how you felt in those 10 minutes, but in the 20 minutes you realize that wouldn't be a good idea. Sometimes the best way to go about it is slowly transitioning into it, or really thinking about it wholeheartedly, like, and figure out why you're going to transition. Figure out what your transition is, and it's not always looks. It could be your career. It could be your ideals. It could be your practices. It could be your health. It could be your diet. It could be, there's so many different ways to transition. It's not all the same. And mine is usually a blanket. Like when um, I transition in every area of my life because one area is going to eventually envelope into the next one. So really think about what your transitions are, and if it's really because it's something you want or if it's something you feel you should want. And if it's a should want, then you probably shouldn't do it because it'll flee. If it's not for you, it's not going to hold on because you're doing it for external reasons. And that's not a good enough reason, in my opinion, to do anything, because what people feel about you and see you as and whatever, you'll be amazed at how many people transition scared. And then, of course, you might get some backlash or negative feedback at first, but then people end up being like, you know what? That was the best move for you. I'm glad you did that. And they'll be the same people that was harassing you and making you feel like you should just be like you are instead. Live for yourself, love yourself, but also just be careful to really give yourself time to accept whatever the transition is. Research that transition if it's something health wise or even fashion wise or even hair wise. Make sure your hair can handle certain things. Everyone's hair doesn't handle the same things the same way. Um, whatever it is, research what it is if that's necessary, and really consider what you're doing. I hope you have a great day. This is longer than I anticipated, but I hope that I'm able to help someone, um, even through my own life, through my own experiences. I literally sat and cut my hair, took my locks out one by one. It took me 8 hours to take it out. And in that time, I was just, as I went through each one, I was just like, I'm so grateful for my fluidity. I'm so grateful for my fluidity because it's like at this point, I cannot wait for someone else to accept me if I don't accept me. And the only way anyone else can accept me fully is if I accept myself and step my boundaries and my standards. No one can really accept you if you don't, because they will accept what you reflect, but they can't accept who you are if you don't know who you are, and you can't be mad about that because they can only love as much as you project. That's it. Have a great day. Enjoy yourselves. It's hot outside. At least in New York City, it's hot outside, and I don't know about later, but I did my walk this morning, but I don't know about later because this ain't it. Enjoy your day, guys. See you tomorrow.